Hi everybody, well, welcome to Amy's Crafts on a Budget. Today we're going to make an Easter wreath. I actually got all of my supplies for the most part at the Dollar Tree. So today what you're going to need to recreate this wreath if you want, you're going to need some Easter grass. I actually have several different colors. So I have this really pretty blue that's like kind of iridescent as well. I have a pinky purpley kind as well, and then I also grabbed some pink because I kind of want to play around with the different colors and see what all I can create. You're also going to need a wreath frame, which I bought this at the dollar store. This is a 10-inch floral frame, which you're going to need. I did pick up 2 containers of plastic eggs because I wasn't sure how many eggs were going to be needed to go on here. So I grabbed 2 eggs. These are an 18-count eggs each. So that should be enough to go around. If not, I'll have to pop out and get some more. And then from Walmart, because I didn't want the green to be shown on the back, because I wanted it all to be covered, I did pick up this really cute fabric. It's pink with a bunch of different little colors on it. It kind of looks like confetti, so I do have that. This was actually clearance for 50 cents at Walmart. And then their Easter wreath, their Easter ribbon that I picked up is actually even cuter. It looks like little sprinkles, so I thought maybe that I would do this on top of it just to be super cute. I love Easter. I love the colors. Just, it's a feel-good time of the year. It's spring's in the air, and it's going to get warmer, so I'm super excited. So you will also need your fabric scissors and then your glue gun as well with extra glue sticks. So let's go ahead and get started. I need to move some things out of my way here. You guys will notice that I do have this lovely thing on my finger today. Me and Candace were actually playing last week and she fell on me and broke my pinky. I can't stand having my other finger taped to it right now. It's driving me nuts. So, plus I didn't think I'd be able to work with only just like 3 fingers. So, we're going to do this and try to see how well I can do it. But let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get my fabric opened up. The best way to do this, so that way you actually cover everything, is you can actually make strips and you can wrap those strips around so that way it covers everything, so that way you won't see any green. So that's what I'm going to start with, is I'm actually going to go ahead and set that there for a minute. My desk is actually fairly large, but today it is just not big enough for everything. So there we have our 2 strips so far. I am going to go ahead and cut 2 more just to be on the safe side, so that way I have enough to go all the way around. So then with this other side, you're going to see that there is actually like a frayed end to an extent. You don't want to use that part. You can still use this section. I would just recommend cutting that off so that way it's not on your wreath, because you don't want that to be on there. Okay, that actually made that a little bit easier to do. So then I'm just going to set that extra piece that I have up there because I'm pretty sure I'll find something to do with it. Pretty sure once my daughter sees it, she'll be like, oh, can you make me a baby doll dress for my babies or something? I don't know. She's always wanting something cute made, so I try to make a bunch of different things for her stuff and try to make her baby dolls cute little dresses so that way they have stylish clothes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and grab my wreath frame. I did have my hot glue gun already plugged in, getting warmed up, because it does take a few minutes for that to happen. So now what we're going to do is I like to start right here where they put it together, because that's always just seems like it's just a hassle to kind of cover. So that's always my starting point. So I'm actually going to take my first piece and I'm just going to tuck it back here, so that I'll make this my back. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to take my glue gun and run a thin line right across the top here. And try not to get burnt, guys, because the glue guns are very hot. Okay. So I'm going to push that on there so that way it is on there nice and good. So then I'm going to flip it over and then I'm just going to start rolling it around. So how to do this, you're going to take your piece of fabric and you're going to come sideways. You always want to make sure that you keep it taut so that way you don't put bubbles in it, you don't create gaps. It keeps it nice and sturdy on there. Oh, my nose itches. I'm so sorry. Oh. Now, since I do have a few little wrinkles in it, I am going to try to get those to come out really quick here. Let's see here if I can get it. There we go. I mean, most of this really won't be seen because we're going to cover a lot of this in grass. I just didn't want the back of my wreath to be green. You can skip this part if you want, if you don't mind it. But I have glass on my front door and I always have my curtain open on it, so you see the back of my wreath. So I just want it to be completely covered. Okay, so there's our first one. So then when your second piece, you actually are just going to come back in and match it right up to where your first one ended, so that way you don't have a whole bunch of start and stop end pieces or people are going to see them. So I'm going to come right back in and put this one right ouch there, as I got glue on my finger. I'm going to go ahead and cut just a couple more pieces, just to be on the safe side. I'm pretty sure I'm only going to need one, but I'm going to cut, yeah, let's do, no, let's just cut one extra actually. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut one piece extra, so that way we have enough to make sure we go around. Ouch. Okay. Get the glue back off me. Plus, these also make a great little gift if you're traveling to family for the holidays. You could bring this nice little wreath with you as a thank you. Okay, so we actually are back to where we were. And there's a tiny little bit of green, so I'm actually just going to come right up above that and put a line. And then just glue this down. And then I'll just trim off that little tiny bit of an extra that I had. Is not very much, which is awesome. So I'm going to come back in and just glue this little edge down, just so that way it stays. Okay. There. Okay, so now we have the wreath covered in fabric, so that way none of the green is showing. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up our Easter grass. I kind of want to play with all three colors, like I said, just to see how it goes. Oops, there's other colors mixed in that one already. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it out of the bag. So it's going to make a giant mess, but I think it's just going to be easier to, if they didn't package it in there, just to do it this way. Ooh, they stink. Ugh. Okay. So they do have a very strong plastic smell, like super strong. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just try to work it out a little bit here. So now that I kind of have these opened up, what I'm going to do is start with getting them off of me. I'm actually just going to start and put some, like a big old blob of glue down, and then I'm going to grab a little bit of each and kind of shove it in there. So let's start with our blob of glue. Make it a nice big circle for the most part, because you want it to kind of stay in place. So you got to do it kind of fast, otherwise your glue will start to harden on there and it won't stay. Ouch. Ow! Let's see here. And then whatever didn't stick, you can kind of come back in and unstick yourself from it and stick it on there. Ah! Ouch. Maybe gloves would be good. Okay. Ouch. Now that I get the glue off my hands. Okay, so now we have a bunch on. So you just kind of do this all the way around however you want it. And then I'm going to come back in and kind of trim it up a little bit so that way it fits firm more to the wreath. Oh! Right on the hot glue, guys. Oh, that hurts so bad. Now that we've got our wreath all covered, it kind of is a giant mess right at the moment, but we're going to get to it. We're going to fix it so that way it looks great. So first, I'm actually going to go ahead and clean up my work area just because it's kind of a mess. So I'm just going to take it all and put it all back in one bag because I wound up just combining it here towards the end because I actually didn't have enough of the one pink. So... So I'm just going to clean this up here really quick so that way my work area is nice and clean. That way when I get ready to start cutting it, it's not like all over the place. As you can see, it's very kind of messy right at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come back in and start cutting and getting it all cleaned up. So I'm going to take mine and see what I can do here, because some of this actually will fall off that you've stuck to it that didn't stick. So I'm just going to scoop mine there. So then I'm going to hold it upside down and pull all of the pieces through or over so that way I can get all of it cut. Just going to run my fingers through it one last time just to make sure that everything is now stuck how it should be. And if it's not, it's coming out. Okay. So, I'm going to come in, and if you guys can see my scissors right here, here's my scissors. I'm just going to start cutting low first, and then work my way up. Kind of want to try to get everything all the same length to start. Okay. There we go. So that pretty much has everything now all the same length. But I don't want to keep it this long because it looks like a monster or something. It's like, ah. So I'm going to come back in and start trimming this even more. So I think I want to do somewhat on the shorter end. So I'm just going to clip it slowly around till I get the desired length that I want. There are different ways of doing this. I like doing mine this way. Oh, sorry. So that way I can kind of give it my own pizzazz. I mean, everybody can do the same wreath over and over again, but you always want yours to be very unique. So that way it's different from everybody else. And that's what also gets you all the good compliments too. Because people will be like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? And then you can tell them, I made it. So far, I even have enough to go ahead and make even the starts of another one with even all the other, with what I had left over and what I'm trimming off of here. I actually have enough that I can make another wreath, which is always good. You want to try to get at least 2 out of all your material, especially if you're trying to sell them. You always want to make sure that you can get enough out of your wreaths. Now that I have everything all trimmed up, I went ahead and cleaned my desk all off as well, except for the few pieces that keep falling. Next, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and, yeah, I can talk today. We're going to go ahead and get our eggs out. And trying to think how I kind of want to put them on there. I don't know if I want to do in a rainbow or just kind of sporadic. I think I'm going to place them on there first and see what I like, and then go from there. So we'll just cut this bag open. Hopefully these don't go all over the place. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to do that. No! Well, there just went one of the purple ones. It's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm thinking maybe if we just kind of put them... So that actually looks really cute. I like how this is going to turn out. I might even do like another row around these because these are kind of more towards the center. So I might do another double row, like do another row around them to give it like a double row. But first I'm going to go ahead and just glue these on so that way I don't lose them, because they don't look like they're going to stay the best. So where the little tab is that usually, you know, holds them together, I'm actually going to go ahead and glue that side down so you don't see that. So I'm actually just going to kind of zigzag some glue back here. And then just going to push it down so that way it stays in place and hopefully won't fall off. Okay, like my blue one just did. That's why we're going to go ahead and glue these down. Now that we have all of those on there, glue off of my desk. So they actually hold pretty well. So you can actually just do it just like this. And then you can wrap some ribbon around it. I think I might see what it looks like with doing another little row around, just to kind of, just to be different and something fun and spontaneous. So with that, let's see here. I wonder what that would look like. So now, I just want to kind of come in and make sure that they're all sticking. So there, I have my cute little Easter wreath. The last thing I am going to add to it, I do have that really super cute ribbon, so I am going to add the ribbon into it. So I'm going to take that off and try to get unstuck. Things like we must stick to today. So I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I may actually kind of, I wonder, So before I actually glue my ribbon down, I always just kind of play around with it to see what I can do. Okay, so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and do a bow. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just do a big giant bow right here in the center, or actually I think I'm going to make this green one the top. So I'm actually just going to attach my bow up here, and I'm going to have these nice long ribbons that come down, and I'll cut those. So let's go ahead and glue our ribbon. I'm going to hold this up so I can get right where I want to put it. And hold it there for a couple minutes. There. And then you can always kind of just drape it if you want, and you can kind of drape it over so that way they kind of cascade down, which I think I might kind of do because it's kind of cute that way. And then I'll cut them and they'll be even. So there is our super cute, pretty easy, and very cheap Easter wreath. Your total time, you're looking at about maybe an hour and a half. The longest is going to be putting the grass on this for you. And then you have the cutest little wreath ever, and nobody else will have one just like yours. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. All the wreaths and crafts that I make on here, I do also sell them on my Etsy site, Budget Creations. Please stop by and check out everything that we have available. If there is a certain wreath or design or color that you're actually interested in but you don't see anything up there, please leave me a message and I will get with you guys and we'll work out the details and I can get one made for you. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day. Bye!